no one who knows the twins better than Nasser, so this is going to be absolutely fantastic. And now I think it is time. Please make some noise for Fred and George. It's James and Oliver Phelps!
Before we started our panel today, I wanted to ask, who here has been in line for the Weasleys today? Look at that, absolutely look at that, absolutely wonderful. How are you guys enjoying the reception in Abu Dhabi?
It's been absolutely amazing, and from the bottom of my heart and James's, thank you so much for your patience in waiting to see us today. We did not anticipate how many people would be coming to see us this weekend, so it's blown us away, so thank you so much for just being here. I really enjoy it, and we don't take it for granted as well, so thank you so much.
I mean, it must be truly wonderful to star in a franchise that's so legendary that even if you come all the way over to Abu Dhabi, you've got hundreds and hundreds of fans just eagerly waiting to get a few seconds with you. What do you think it is about Harry Potter that just gave it that level of commitment and longevity from fans?
I have no idea. What's really, it never ceases to amaze Oliver and myself, is that we can go many places in the world and we learn how much it means to people. Well, we met guys today who it was their first book they read in English, or it's like just an escapism for whatever else is going on in their life, and it's really cool to hear everyone else's stories as well. So yeah, answer your question, I have no idea.
Does anyone here have favorite Weasley lines? What are your favorite Weasley lines?
Morning. It was the easiest one to remember, to be honest with you, so yeah, there's that one.
It'll surprise you. I mean, I've memorized all of the Weasley lines. Those movies, I mean, it's ridiculous. Were you ever able to enjoy those films as audience members or people who like films, or was it something that you were just too connected to that you could enjoy?
I guess that when we watch, I guess it's like any film that any actor does, really. It's hard to watch that particular film as the film, like you say, because right. I remember what we were doing behind the camera, what was going on whilst we were filming a particular sequence or scene or something, like the Yule Ball in the fourth movie, in The Goblet of Fire. We filmed that the last 2 weeks before we went on our Christmas break. So the rock concert that's in that scene kind of was our unofficial Christmas party.
Right. In that case, that rock Christmas party, there were bits of that were cut out. Was there anything in those films that was cut out that you guys were like, oh, damn it, I would have really loved to have seen that?
I think just that, the first thing that comes to mind is that, like having a massive mosh pit break out while the Weird Sisters are playing, followed by watching Warwick Davis crowd surf. Yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff like that. But on the whole, then there's other stuff what goes in, which you sometimes forget that you even filmed.
Right.
And it's like, that's quite cool that that's there. So it kind of balances itself out over time.
And I guess it must have been really strange working with your sibling for a good 10 years as your career. Was that wonderful or a pain?
No, it was really great. Honestly, we had a good time together, and we were very lucky as well because we were the only siblings on the set. So we were able to share that experience, and I guess especially being teenagers, you know, and I'm sure parents of teenagers here may understand that when you ask your kids, what did you get up to today, you don't really get a detailed response. So my mum and dad had at least another way of getting what happened at work today, kind of thing.
Right. Were there any other cast members that you guys fondly had a great time with on set?
Yeah, quite a few of the guys. I mean, we hang around in Rupert Grint's dressing room quite often, actually, as well, playing table tennis, and then like football games on the computer, pool, all the way down to making your own crossbow.
because why not? To making model aeroplanes. Because there's that much time when you're waiting around to do anything, you kind of make your own fun, as it were. Which sometimes maybe wasn't the most productive way to do anything. But in other times, I mean, playing the characters Weeded, you could get away with a lot of pranks and stuff as well. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, Fred and George are really mischievous, and I guess that was a form of method acting that you guys got up to.
Exactly, that's what we used to say, yeah. If we ever were messing around and we got kind of like the look from one of the people in charge, you'd say, we're method actors, we're trying to get in character here. So.
Do you guys think that that's something that you guys got from them, or something that they may have gotten from you?
I think probably, in hindsight, I got more from them. I think it was always in there somewhere. But when you're playing these characters, especially in those formidable years, it does leave a little bit of an imprint on you. And especially when sometimes people expect you to be a bit like that anyway, you kind of just get away with it. To a point, officer. But on the whole, it's quite good.
I did have to ask about one of my personal favorite Weasley scenes of all time, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Walking into a set that is completely designed out of your characteristics and your personality and your face just plastered on that entrance door. That must have been surreal for you guys. How was it?
It's really cool. I mean, the actual set itself was huge. Like, we're talking, about as high as these curtains are in this room here. It was, and unlike quite a lot of sets where you've got an exterior and the interior is somewhere totally different, in Weez's Wisdom Wheezes, you could actually walk in the front door from the outside, and you're in the middle of the set inside as well. So we only filmed on it for about a day or two, didn't we? Which is a shame, because it was definitely my favourite set to film on, because there was so much colour going on, there were so many other things you could interact with. There was even the finely balanced umbrage model what was walking across. Like, some people think that was on computer, but it was actually really, it was really there. So you see that type of thing when you're filming, and you think, I hope this level of detail, you get to see it on the film as well, because the art department definitely had a good time and did a really good job on that.
I mean, just visually, even Mina Lima, her work on those films is just absolutely unbelievable. I think that's another reason why, the series is so prominent, because it feels lived in. And I think that's something that we also see with Fred and George and with the Weasleys. Which then leads me to, of course, asking you guys, when it comes to the Weasleys, do you guys feel that you are the superior pair? Of Weasleys?
I don't know about that, but what was quite funny, and some people don't really believe us when we say this, but if we're ever filming in, say, the Burrows, normally, so we're filming in the kitchen, normally when they're doing a different camera setup, so they need to move all the cameras from that side to the other side. Normally you're told, okay, go back to the trailer or your dressing room and we'll call you when we need you. But when we're filming in the Burrows, literally all of us would just move over to the living room and just chill out on the sofa and just chat or play some games or something while we're there. So it was very much like it really was like a family setup when we were there, yeah.
And speaking of the behind the scenes, I would have to ask, did you guys find the different directors of each film? I mean, you had Christopher Columbus for the first two, and then Alfonso for the third, Mike Newell for the fourth, and then David Yates for the last four. This isn't information I researched. I know this in the back of my head. I'm being so serious right now. Did you guys have a favorite director, or one that you feel that you really grew with as performers?
I think every director we had gave something different, which we were able to bring to the roles. Like, obviously, Chris cast us. Forever be grateful to Chris Columbus for seeing, okay, there's Fred and George, And then when Alfonso came on, we had a meeting with him before we started filming, and he wanted to talk to us about the roles and the characters and how they were. And he realised that we would cut each other up as we were talking to him. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're just doing what twins do." And he started scribbling notes in the script. So that's why, especially you see it in the Marauders map scene, Fred and George are finishing each other's sentences off, and that came from a meeting with him. Mike Newell was just more and more pushing Fred and George to be mischievous, a bit anarchist to a point. and we did a lot of ad lib work as well with Mike, which was cool. And then David Yates again, what he brought to was very, I suppose, a bit more of a serious side of them, especially in the later films. But yeah, so each person.
It's really interesting when you speak about directors. It makes me wonder, when it comes to behind the scenes stuff, was there any kind of line or movement that you guys added that wasn't in the script?
Yeah, movements, definitely. There was one, I was talking about it actually with the guys yesterday when we went to Warner Brothers World here, which is awesome. And we were talking about it, and there was a Bugs Bunny there. And going back to that scene I was talking about earlier with the morning thing, when Harry and Ginny are kissing, if you watch me come in the background, I tiptoe in like Bugs Bunny. And that was mainly because I used to watch those cartoons loads when I was younger. And I thought that's what George would do. He's trying to be very subtle but loud, like here I am. And the only thing he's missing is the little violin, ding, 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 in the background. So yeah, so if you watch it back, you can say that's where that came from.
Wow, I mean, that's really great that David Yates chose to keep that.
I can't believe they did.
So you guys are doing a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts of all time, Normal Not Normal. I wanted to ask, you guys in the past have brought on so many Harry Potter actors and legends, and you ask them what normal means to them. And when they ask you back, you say, we're not the one answering questions. So in this moment, I am the one asking questions, and I wanted to ask, what does normal mean to you? What grounds you as the legendary Fred and George? What brings you back home?
This is why I like asking that question. I suppose that I guess coming to an event like this technically should be a normal thing for Oliver and myself, but it's not. It still doesn't make. After I leave today, I'll be speaking to my wife and I'll be telling her exactly about what's happened, because it still blows us away about how, some of you guys have travelled from many different countries and hours to be here. So, it really is crazy, that side of it. But I guess a normal side of it would be, if we're on a film set, for example, the different actors that are there and the methods which people go through, which, for example, if you've got like a scene where you're supposed to be upset, some people can just turn it on like that, other people need to go away and prepare for that. And if you're just a normal person, and you see someone doing that, you think they're going crazy, but actually that's just a normal part of day-to-day life on a film set, I guess.
I would also like to add, I do think you guys referring to your supporters as supporters, I think that also is something that grounds people. I think it's very, very humble, and you guys should be very, very proud of yourselves.
And like I said earlier, we don't take for granted you guys spending your Saturday afternoon coming to see us. He's awesome, and he's the biggest ego trip you could ever wish to have, so thank you for that.
Round of applause to yourselves, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
After that really, really cheerful round of applause, I do have to ask one question about Fred's long sleep. I do have to
Spoiler
ask.
alert, if anyone hasn't seen
Spoiler
the last
alert.
one.
Sorry, guys. It's been, 12 years? 13 now since Deathly Hallows Part 2, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, Fred, I know you read the book before, Deathly Hallows came into production. What was it like realizing that this was it for him?
Yeah, so I apologise if anyone's heard this story before, if you've seen any of the interviews that we've done, but so the way I found out that what happened to Fred, shall we say, so we were in Japan, and we were travelling around Japan, and I got my hands on the first English edition of Deathly Hallows, the book. So I turned my phone off, and I had no contact with anyone else in the UK or anywhere until I finished the book. So I pretty much blitzed through the book in 2 days. And I was on the bullet train, and I was reading the chapter which happens to Fred. And in that exact moment, the ticket inspector was coming down the train to get tickets for the train. So I'm reading it, and then I see what happens to Fred, and I'm shocked. Like I think quite a few people were. But then I was shocked about how shocked I was, because I didn't realise how attached I'd become to the character at this moment. So so many things are going through my head at this exact moment. Meanwhile, I've got this Japanese ticket inspector tapping me on the shoulder saying, ticket, ticket, ticket. And I actually went, excuse me mate, I've just died here. Give me a moment actually to read this. So I was able, I think the 5th movie had just wrapped, so I knew we had a few more to come for that. But it's quite a funny thing. And then all of the cast, we were kind of texting each other, like what had happened to our characters or whatever. That was pretty fun.
Well, you guys having 2 more movies to do, you guys really made the most of it. Some of Fred and George's greatest hits are in Order and Half-Blood and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. Super cool. I mean, I'm Holy. Was that you guys?
No, that was scripted. That was all there. Wow. Although, and that's the other thing as well. Like James said, reading the book, we had no idea pre-film, pre the books coming out, what was going to happen to any of the characters. So the first time we read certainly Deathly Hallows, it's kind of like a speed reading. You're like Harry, Ginny, Harry, George, right, or something to George. So you're really quick through, and then you've got to read the story again to see what actually happens. But actually, so when we did that and we had to get the prosthetic made up for George's ear, before we did it, I was sat in the makeup chair and I said, do we know which ear he loses? And Nick, the prosthetics guy, was like, we thought you'd know. So I don't know. And in the olden days, before you had smartphones, there was a service in England called AQA, Any Questions Answered. So you text this number with a question and it would text you the answer. So we literally text this number. What ear does George Weasley lose in Harry Potter? Text comes back. On page yeah, George loses his left ear. So that's where we found out.
Was that the modern version of ChatGPT?
I think so, although I think it was actually some people in a call centre in Bristol that had access to an internet. But anyway, so that's where that came from. And then every day I'd have to get the prosthetic ear put on and taken off. So it was good times.
Well, before we move on to audience questions, because I know you guys are very excited to ask these guys a few questions, I did want to say one more thing. If you guys could give advice to the people here who are still trying to find their way in the non-magical world, and this is, James and Oliver as people, what advice would you give them?
Don't be like me. I just trust yourself and have fun. That's the so. Sum it up. The other couple, we were filming a travel series, and we did an episode skiing. And what I learned in Austria, where we were, was that black runs could mean any type of hard. So I ended up going down a very, very, very hard thing. Ended up falling and went down on my back like a turtle, upside down, kind of. And the only thing I could do in that moment was just laugh, because that made the situation easier for me, and that actually did work out. So whatever you're doing, do it with a smile on your face, I think is my best way I could say anything.
Yeah, two things. Most important thing, it's my life motto: be your best at what you do, whatever it is. Could be anything, but be your best at it. Because if it doesn't quite work out, you gave it your best. Number one. Number two, if you're ever going on an aeroplane and it says backpack and a small bag, take a backpack and a small bag. My pet hate, you can tell I've been doing a bit of travelling, is people who get on with like 4 massive rucksacks and like take them. That's a buy rant. Be your best, that's what I say.
Yeah, just make sure you don't travel with the Phelps twins unless you have really small bags. Please don't be that guy. Please. So, eager audiences. Anybody have any questions? Nice man. Hi.
Hello, my name is Matt. It's nice to meet you guys. One question that I do have. So if you were to sort each other in a Harry Potter house, which one would you choose for each other?
I think only the sorting hat can choose a house, to be honest with you, Matt. But we actually did that at one of the launches of one of the films. They had the sorting hat there, and I was very happy. I went to Gryffindor, which is great because I've already got the tie, so that was good.
But, yeah, I was cast in Hufflepuff actually. So
I see there's a few Hufflepuffs here then today. Yeah?
I'm a Slytherin if anyone cares. Do you guys want to take the next question or choose?
no, let the guys whoever's.
Let's see. Who looks really eager? There's a girl with a balloon back there. She's grabbing my attention.
Hi, my name is Nazia. So Fred and George were very well known for their pranks. So my question is, if you could swap lives with any character in the Harry Potter series, who would it be, and what pranks would you pull in their place?
Wow.
I don't know.
If you're one of their characters but pull pranks as that character,
Yeah, if you switched lives with them.
Voldemort. Because who's gonna suspect him as pulling pranks?
What would you do though? Like, what pranks would you pull?
I'll set Nagini just to like slither in and for no obvious reason, just to like,
Yeah, wear like a false nose.
yeah,
And then drop up every now and then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful, wonderful question. There's a person with a sword back there. It's a really big sword.
Hi, I'm Tani. My question is that if you could use any spell from Harry Potter in real life, what spell would you use?
After banging my shin at 2 o'clock in the morning, walking around my hotel room, Lumos. That would be the easiest one.
Do you know phones actually do that? It's a fact.
They
Some
do.
phones
They
do
do.
that.
They
don't
do. It's on iOS. If you just tell the person in your phone.
on, do it now and see what-
Lumos. Should I?
Do it.
Hey Siri. Lumos.
If you learn anything from today, that's
School.
very cool.
Good old days.
I would say Wingardium Leviosa. Obviously, I mean that would be a very handy one, wouldn't it?
When?
Everywhere. So handy.
There's a girl with an owl. There's a girl with a Hedwig.
Thank you so much. My name is Vania. I'm so grateful for having you here. I would like to ask you if you could say the words, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good, and how often are you up to no good? Thank you.
We'll do it if everybody else says it with us. No, you first. You've got to do it and not be like, yeah, we'll do it.
And you've got the microphone, so you need to be the loudest.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, 1, 2, 3.
I
solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Perfect.
And the answer is, we're always really well behaved. That's my defence and I'm sticking to it. That's it.
I actually put my room service for Oliver's room yesterday, so that's
So mischief managed.
yes.
There's a kid with a sword. Guys, if you've got any sharp objects, please stay safe. It's ridiculous.
Should we get someone else in with a question?
Yeah, let's get someone until they're ready.
Yeah.
This girl right there in the pink. Because you're right next to them.
Hi, hello, my name is Rizlana, and I'm actually from the Rizlana Science channel, where I post like educational videos. But personally myself, I'm a huge Potterhead, huge Harry Potter fan. I'm a Gryffindor, by the way, and it was such a great chance to see you, so I just would like to ask you this quick question. If you were to relive any scene and relive it again, do it again, what scene would that be?
As James said, the Yule Ball from the Goblet of Fire. That whole scene was just awesome. And to be able to see that one more time would be cool. Would be really cool.
That's great, thank you so much. I love the Yule Ball part 2 in the movies.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for your question. Are they ready now? Okay.
Hi, I'm Jay. My cousin back home in Malaysia is a huge fan of your work. She just loves it. Every single time I go back to Malaysia for the summer, she just can't stop talking about you. So if there's something you'd like to say, if she was right here in this audience right now, what would you tell her?
Hello, Jay. I would say
So,
I don't
so
know.
Fred.
Yeah, I don't know. Hi.
Just why? Just why?
Who here has a question?
Hi, but I don't really have a question, but I love you all.
Fantastic.
You there, nice guy, over there, second row.
First of all, Nasser, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And Weasley brothers, what advice would you give to the next actors playing the Weasley brothers in the Harry Potter reboot show?
To be honest, I'd just say, just as long as anyone who's in any kind of whatever in the Wizarding World series is if people have fun as much as we guys did when we did the Harry Potter films, then you're gonna have a great time. Do you know that like HBO did a reunion show last year or so, and so we filmed that in the daytime, and then we all went for a meal that night, which was probably where the camera should have been because we had such a great great stories going around. But we're all saying like how we're so lucky to still be friends with each other. It was like friends from school. Like you may not see each other all the time, but you got friendships for life there. So yeah.
Ooh.
A lot of swords have gone up since you've said that.
Right?
She has a wand. She has a wand. She has a wand.
Oh, a wand.
We have a girl with a wand. A lot of sharp objects. You'd be surprised how little accidents we have here at Comic-Con.
Hello again. My question for you is who is your favorite Marauder?
That's a wonderful question. Who is your favorite Marauder?
Padfoot.
He's my favorite.
I do not know.
Don't say Pettigrew.
Well, no, I was going to say Pettigrew. Well, he's technically part of the family, isn't he?
He is part of the family. He slept in Ron's bed for 12 years.
He's a buddy as well, isn't he? Yeah. Oh well.
No favorite? Really? No favorite? Are you sure? There's, what's his name? What's his name?
I know.
The professor.
Lupin.
Yeah.
We have time for just one more, you guys. Just one more.
I think the girl in the blue hair who's fair had a hand up for every single question. And the gun.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Hannah, or Jinx, and I absolutely love you guys. You're wicked. So my question for you is for Weasley Wizard Weezers, because it's such a cool place. If you guys could design your own thing that you made at Weasley Wizard Weezers, what would it be?
I mean, Fred and George covered a lot of bases when they were coming out with all their stuff. I think something what would be like instant instant hair loss, but it would only be temporary. It would only be for like a day. Then it'll go
banter.
Yeah. Jokes. Yeah, that would be one. I think it's something they do as well. I think.
Awesome, thank you.
James, do you have an invention?
They're all kind of taken there, I think. I was always, so when we filmed in Weasley Wizard Weezers, I was telling someone earlier how every prop that you looked at, they weren't hollow, they genuinely felt as though if you picked up a Skive and Snap box, they all had the Skive and Snaps inside them if you open them up. Like it was, so yeah, I've got a soft spot for them, so I don't think I can top that, to be honest with you.
All right, you guys. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I did want to say, James and Oliver Phelps, it is such an honor for you guys to be here, coming all the way from the UK to Abu Dhabi to do a con, to meet all of these beautiful people. You have no idea how much it means to them. Well, you do, because you guys are really great people.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, we are blown away by, we didn't expect this many people at all to come and see us today, and it's just made it just that even better coming to an amazing part of the world and seeing such a mix of people. And yeah, thank you so much, and if we see you over the rest of the weekend, brilliant, and if we don't, have an amazing weekend, and thank you once again for sharing your time with us.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you.